What is going on everyone? Welcome back to Digit.in and today we are going to compare the Xiaomi Redmi 3S and the Xiaomi Redmi 4A. Now this is not an apples to apple comparison, but rather it's more to inform you of how the two smartphones are different so that you can make a more informed buying decision. Both the phones are great for their price. The Redmi 4A is priced at 5,999 rupees and the Redmi 3S is priced at 6,999 rupees for the 2GB RAM and 16GB internal storage variant. We would like to make one thing clear. If you can, go for the Redmi 3S. It's a better value for money proposition of the two. We are going to talk about the differences between the two smartphones here. The Redmi 3S is a stellar replica of the Redmi Note 3, which leaves little to complain about. The metallic finish on the 5-inch Redmi 3S feels quite premium and the design is quite compact. The device is incredibly light and the weight distribution is perfect. On the other hand, the 5-inch display on the Redmi 4A feels compact. Xiaomi has reintroduced the polycarbonate back, which was earlier present on the Mi 4i. On first glance, the phone really doesn't look like an entry segment device. However, the back and display do feel sticky often, reinforcing the fact that it actually is one. Overall, both the smartphones have a premium finish and feel compact and good in one's hands. In terms of display, the Redmi 3S does produce vibrant colors but is a tad biased towards the cooler side. The touch response of the display is top-notch, with nothing to complain about. As far as the Redmi 4A is concerned, icons don't look as sharp and colors look a tad paler than that on the Redmi 3S. The display is also cooler than other Xiaomi phones. Touch response is satisfactory with low but not ideal latency. Colors still look good for an entry-level device and there are no light leaks or other aberrations. It is also sufficiently bright for indoor usage, although you will have to squint when out under sunlight. The Redmi 3S does have a better display than the Redmi 4A, but that was expected. Both the devices have 13-megapixel primary cameras, but then they differ in terms of aperture counts. The 13-megapixel camera on the Redmi 3S has an f2.0 aperture, whereas the 13-megapixel camera on the Redmi 4A has a f2.2 aperture. The images clicked by the Redmi 3S are good under bright conditions but show noise in poorly lit situations, indoor and night shots, thanks to higher than ideal ISO levels. This though is acceptable in this price range. Pictures clicked by the Redmi 4A look decent on the phone's display, but they are quite pixelated and noisy while colors look slightly bleak. The camera is decidedly weaker than that on the Redmi 3S. For an entry-level buyer, there is a decent camera, if not the absolute best. The Redmi 3S was the first phone that we tested that runs on the octa-core Snapdragon 430 platform from Qualcomm. It also has Adreno 505 GPU, which is faster than the older Adreno 405 GPU. That said, it doesn't seem to make a very big difference. Games like Injustice, Gods Among Us and Asphalt 8 showed slight frame skips. Having said that, the frame skips are noticeable only to really keen observers and big-time gamers, most of whom don't buy phones in this range. For regular usage, the Redmi 3S shows no stutters or lags, and the app load times are high only when heavy apps are used. Talking about the Redmi 4A, this was our first encounter with the Snapdragon 425 SoC. The Snapdragon 430 platform is more powerful than the 425. The 425, however, is the best you can get in the market right now, and on the Redmi 4A, you see it work really hard. We won't venture to say that there are no lags on the Redmi 4A. In fact, we saw slight stutters from the offset, but in this price range, they are much easier to overlook. App load times are actually low. What we didn't find on the Redmi 4A are heavy lags and the system never froze even under high pressure. You get a 4100 mAh battery on the Redmi 3S. On the Geekbench 3 battery test, the phone lasts over 16 hours, which is considerably more than the Redmi Note 3 and about double of that of the Echo La2. Simply put, the device easily provides an entire day's worth of battery life even to the heavy users. The Redmi 4A has a 3120 mAh battery. It runs for just 9 hours on the PCMark Work 2.0 battery test, which is about 4 hours less than what we got on regular usage. Charging it once every morning at 10 AM, we got through a full working day quite easily, having to charge it again at just over 10 PM. While that's respectable battery life, it still means you will want a power bank or charger around for a long day. So what's the verdict? Both the devices are great for their price. We still recommend spending the 1000 rupees more and getting the Redmi 3S. If you absolutely cannot spare the additional 1000 rupees, you won't be going wrong with the Redmi 4A. Thank you for tuning into Digit, and for more videos, subscribe to our channel.